Ann Richards is a name that holds great meaning. It represents determination and honesty. The second woman and last Democratic governor of Texas, and the school that rejected me in the 6th grade. But that's okay. I don't hold it against the namesake. No, I blame the lottery system and that mirror that I broke in the 4th grade. Still working out that 7 years. In all seriousness, though, Ann Richards School for Young Women Leaders is a great monument for the vision and legacy that Ann Richards left on Texas, the US, and the world, and that has left us with her views on the education system, feminism, and her reforms on the prison system. Ann Richards worked as a teacher before she became a politician, so it makes sense that part of her legacy lives on in the form of a school. She always believed that education was the ticket to opportunity and equality. With the fact that the American Prospect found that a single year of higher education can raise earnings of welfare recipients by 7%, this belief has never been truer. Due to the Texas Constitution, though, the governor naturally has less power than the lieutenant governor, and in Richard's time as governor, the admirable Lieutenant Governor Bob Bullock wasn't too fond of Ann. So the structure of the Texas public school finance is something that still remains in debate today. However, looking at the overall improvements in the education system and the National Center of Education Statistics, which says that the number of students dropping out of high school has dropped below 10%, Ann would be proud of students today. Not so much in how the government is handling public schooling, but proud of students in themselves. Ann Richards School for Young Women Leaders is a school that only admits a single gender. Guess which gender that is? If you guessed male, you'd be wrong, and I'd be concerned. This all-girls school helps reflect Ann Richards' feminist beliefs. She made a big splash in the national scene in the 1988 Democratic National Convention, notoriously saying this of women's success in the public office. After all, Ginger Rogers did everything that Fred Astaire did. She just did it backwards, and in high heels. After losing political office, she went on to teach a course called Women and Leadership at the University of Texas. Ann Richards was also a strong advocate for pro-choice when it came to abortion and women's rights to their own body. Today, her legacy lives on through her daughter Cecile Richards, who's the president of Planned Parenthood, as well as the Texas Equal Rights Amendment, which Ann helped ratify. Fun fact about Austin public high schools. All of the Austin high schools, minus the one school that could afford avoiding this, looking at you like Travis, was designed by prison architects. This just goes to show that prison is something that is reflected in Ann Richards School for Young Women Leaders, and rightly so, because one of Ann's biggest accomplishments as the governor of Texas is her prison reform. She established substance abuse programs in Texas jails for inmates. This is an extremely important reform, as according to the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition, 80% of individuals entering the Texas Department of Criminal Justice were for nonviolent crimes, and almost 50% of the TDCJ population were incarcerated for nonviolent crimes. While Ann started this road to recovery for these prisoners, today lawmakers want to take it a step further. According to the Texas Tribune, they are continually putting funds into the Texas Correctional Office on offenders with mental or medical impairments, and have recognized that just providing help within prisons isn't enough, and creating more facilities in which people can receive help will lower the number of people that are being incarcerated with a chemical dependency. Ann Richards got the ball rolling, and now you're continuing her vision and pushing it a step further. Ann Richards may have physically left us in 2006, but she left behind a vision on education and feminism, as well as her reformation of the Texas prison system, all bundled up neatly in a school that only accepts around 150 students, of which I was not included. Despite the exclusivity of the school, I think Ann would look at it and be proud of that if she could have anything left behind, it would be this legacy.